Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jayan Pillai, and I'd like to welcome you back to another Tech Talk in our series sponsored by Pressable. Today, we have the pleasure of welcoming Kaishaer Mahemuti to give us a brief talk about Cypress, the Cypress testing framework. So without further ado, I'd like to pass it on over to you, Kaishaer.
Thank you, Jayan. Hello, everybody. I am Kaishaer. Thanks for attending my Tech Talk. I also would love to say thanks to Pressable for the sponsorship. Today, I'm excited to dive into how modern web automation testing, especially with Cypress, can take your web applications to the next level. We'll break down what web automation is and why it's a game changer for testing, and why it's so important from a technical perspective, and how Cypress makes automation effortless with its powerful built-in features. By the end of this, I believe you'll see why Cypress isn't just another testing tool. It's a smarter, faster, and more intuitive way to ensure your web apps run flawlessly. Let's get into it. Before we dive into the details, let's break it down. What do we mean by web automation? Simply put, it's the practice of using software tools to mimic what a user would normally do on a web application. Think about clicking buttons, filling out forms, or navigating between pages. Web automation does all of that, but without a human at the keyboard. The goal, to make sure everything in your app works smoothly and consistently. No matter how often things change, whether you are adding a new feature to your application, or it's a UI update, or even a different user behavior. So instead of manually checking every little detail, automation runs tests for you, helping catch issues before they reach your users. It's like having a super reliable assistant that never gets tired of testing your app. Now let's talk about Cypress. Cypress is a modern end-to-end testing framework designed for web application, specifically for JavaScript-based apps. Unlike traditional tools, it runs directly in the browser, enabling real-time execution and debugging. So why do we use Cypress? The first off, zero configuration. Just install it and start testing. No need to waste time tweaking endless settings. It also blazing fast and incredibly reliable, tackling flaky tests head on. But here's where Cypress really shines. Real-time interactive testing. So you don't have to guess what went wrong. Cypress shows you exactly what's happening as your test runs, so making debugging so much easier. Another significant development, automatic waiting. Cypress intelligently waits for elements to appear before interacting with them. So no more adding manual delays like set timeout. And let's not forget some standout features. Cypress offers powerful features for efficient testing and the debugging. With time travel debugging, you can actually go back and inspect every test step, making it easier to pinpoint issues. Network stubbing and spying allows you to mock API responses, enabling front-end testing in isolation. So its cross-browser testing ensures your application runs smoothly across different browsers, while comprehensive reporting provides detailed test results for quick debugging and insights. So additionally, Cypress integrates seamlessly with CI/CD pipelines, including Jenkins, GitHub Actions, and GitLab CI, streamlining automated testing in development workflows. So usually who uses Cypress? From front-end developers and full-stack engineers to QA testers, Cypress is trusted by teams working with React, Angular, Vue, and the other modern frameworks. So the bottom line, Cypress makes testing faster, smarter, and way less frustrating. Let's take a look at how Cypress works under the hood. And Cypress operates differently from traditional testing frameworks by running directly inside the browser, so giving it more control over the application under test. Let's break down how its workflow using this image. So on the left side, the Cypress starts within a Node.js process. So first, it initializes a proxy server, which is essential for intercepting and modifying network requests. So this proxy server sits between the web application under test and the Cypress, giving it the full control and monitoring ability to for the HTTP requests and responses. So moving to the right side, Cypress runs inside a browser, executing tests in an iframe. So these tests interact with the application, which runs in a separate iframe. So this allows Cypress to control the application's DOM, a local storage, a service worker, window, and any other API systems. So Cypress communicates with the browser through WebSocket, providing instant feedback during test execution. So unlike Selenium, Robot Framework, or WebDriver, which are some traditional testing frameworks that depend on drivers to interact with the browsers. So Cypress does not rely on external drivers, but operates directly within the same execution loop as the application. So making tests faster and more reliable. So this architecture ensures that Cypress can automatically wait for elements to load, so eliminating the need for manual delays, reducing flakiness, and offering a seamless debugging experience with time travel snapshots. So Cypress isn't just another testing tool. It's a notable advancement for real-world web applications. It's an ideal testing solution for single-page applications, ensuring that dynamic content loads and behaves correctly without unexpected surprises. So it simplifies regression testing, making sure new updates don't accidentally break existing features. With seamless API testing, Cypress verifies the front end and the back end remain in sync, crucial for web apps relying on back-end interactions. So additionally, its visual regression testing detects even the smallest UI changes, maintaining a consistent and a polished user experience. From functional tests to UI validation, Cypress does it all, helping teams ship high-quality applications with confidence. Now, I'd love to present a simple demo I have prepared to give you a glimpse of how Cypress works. I created a simple search app to demonstrate Cypress end-to-end testing. Users enter text in a search box, click a button, and see the result on the same page. To test this end-to-end functionality, I I created a Cypress test file, and in my test file to load the page, I used Cypress's visit method. And to simulate user input, I used Cypress's get method to select the text input field and a type in the search query. To trigger the search action, I used Cypress's contains method to locate the search button and click it. Finally, to verify the expected result, I used Cypress's contains method again to check that the correct output appears on the page. And the Cypress's syntax makes this process intuitive, seamlessly handling waiting and chaining for reliable test execution. Now we can run the test by using the command npx cypress open. So this will launch the Cypress's test runner UI, where we can select the test file we want to execute. Once we click on the test file, Cypress will start running the test in a controlled browser environment, automatically executing each step we defined. It will load the application, simulate user interactions, and validate the expected output. If everything is correctly implemented, Cypress will mark the test as passed, indicating that our search functionality works as expected. If any step fails, Cypress provides detailed logs and screenshots, making debugging easy and efficient. And that was just a simple glimpse of what Cypress can do. Obviously, it's way more powerful than that. And in conclusion, we've seen how web automation is a cornerstone of modern software development. So enabling more efficient, reliable, and scalable testing processes. Cypress, with its modern design and comprehensive features, provides a powerful framework for end-to-end testing. By incorporating Cypress into your development workflow, you not only improve the quality of your applications, but also accelerate your development cycle. So I highly encourage you to explore Cypress further and integrate its advanced features into your testing strategy. Um, if you are interested in learning more about the Cypress framework, please refer to these sites. Now, I would love to open up the floor for any questions you might have.
Hey,
Go ahead, Rachel.
Thanks. Hey, Kaishaer. This is an amazing talk. You mentioned really briefly about iframes, and I've never seen those before in a browser. Can you talk a little bit about like what those are? Are those actual physical things that you would see, or more headless or something in between?
Yes, iframes are individual frames in web browsers. Uh, they're like a separate web elements. We can locate them by using uh, links or any other methods to we can locate the iframes. And so in Cypress, the test scripts they run in a separate iframe, and the application under test, which is injected through the proxy server. So that itself is running in an separate iframe, which means they're all in the same browser environment. So this will make the process way more smoother since they are in the same environment. So Cypress is consistently communicating with the browser to wait for the elements to load. And that's why it's one of the very popular testing framework right now,
Thank you.
of course.
Thanks so much for that. I had one additional question, Kishar. So when would it be best to use something like Cypress versus something like Jest or perhaps something like Playwright? What are the kind of use cases for these?
Jest is for um, Jest is for like it's for unit testing. So developers um, can use Jest to make sure like each small units in their code works correctly. Whereas the Cypress is more robust end-to-end testing and component testing, of course. So we can use Cypress in terms of regression testing when we so basically what Cypress does is it mimics a a user whatever a user can do on a website. So let's imagine like we have an application where we can log in with the correct credentials like username, password, and then we have to click um, submit button to be navigated to the next browser and do whole bunch of other things. We can write all these steps as test cases. So, and then to run them as a end-to-end test scenarios. But using Jest, I'm sure we can't do that because Jest does not operates within the browser. But Jest is more like testing your unit codes. And obviously, I'm not very familiar with another one. You have mentioned Playwright. I would do more research on that myself.
Amazing. Thanks for that clarification.
Thank You're welcome. And I would thanks for attending my tech talk, everybody. I appreciate your time and attention. Also, I would love to thank Pressable one more time for sponsoring my Tech Talk today. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Kaishaer, for that really informative talk, and thank you to everyone else for coming out today. We'll see you at the next one.